Hey gang, Jane back with another crochet granny square tutorial. Today is something a little different. I enjoy making hexagon shaped pieces, and one of the questions I get the most is how do you make half hexagons? So today I'm going to walk you through the making of a half hexagon of my sweet pea pattern. These half hexagon shapes are perfect for creating straight edges along a blanket or throw. Instead of having 6 corners, this piece will only have 4 corners and will be worked in rows instead of rounds. I'll be changing colors every row and always working from the right side, so no back and forth rows are going to be happening here. Part of the reason for always working from the right side is to make them cohesive with the regular hexagon shapes, which are worked in the round and therefore always worked from the right side. There are 2 ways to make a half hexagon. You can cut the piece like this, or you can cut it like this. We'll be working the later one today. If you'd like to see how to make the first shape, then drop a comment below and I'll make a tutorial on that one as well. Just like the full sweet pea hexagon, this piece is 9 rounds. I'll be making it in 4 colors today: a medium blue, an off-white, a golden beige, and a vibrant turquoise. I'll be using a worsted weight yarn and a 5mm crochet hook. Other tools you'll need are a pair of scissors and a darning needle to tie in your ends. You can find more information on the pattern for the sweet pea half hexagon over on my blog, and I'll leave the link in the description below. So gather your supplies and your favorite colors, and let's get started on our sweet pea half hexagon shape. We'll start with our magic ring and our medium blue color. We lie the end of our yarn across our palm with the cut end facing us, holding it in place with your thumb and first finger. Then we're going to wrap around our first 2 fingers, bringing the yarn back underneath, crossing over and holding that in place with your thumb. Now twisting your palm back up, wrap it around 3 fingers. So you have these 2 strands here. I'm going to go under the 2-finger strand, over the 3-finger strand, and pull it through. Then I'm going to twist my hook towards me, the end towards me, so that the loop is twisted onto the hook. So now we're going to go under that strand that goes over the 3rd finger, pull it through, and that's our first chain 1. Slip your fingers out and you have your magic ring with the first chain 1 in place. Now for our first round 1, we want to chain 4. So we've already got 1 on the hook. So we want 3 more. So 1, 2, and 3 for a total of 4 chains. This counts as our first double crochet and our first chain 1. Now we want to work a double crochet into that same ring. So we go ahead with that, and then we do another chain 1. So we want to do this 3 more times. So go ahead and do double crochet, chain 1, and again double crochet and a chain 1, and one more time double crochet and a chain 1. And now we're going to finish this half round with a double crochet. So work 1 more double crochet into that ring. So because we're working a half hexagon, we're only working half. But what we're going to do still is cinch up this ring. So go ahead and pull on that end, and you have your beginning half circle to start your half hexagon. We're going to go ahead and finish off this color because, as usual, we're working a different color every round. So the way I finish off is to do 1 more chain just to hold it in place. Then I'm going to cut my yarn about 4 inches and we'll be ready for the next round. Okay, I had to find my scissors, but I did end up cutting my yarn about 4 inches so that I can darn it in later. So I usually work my ends in as I go, but for the purpose of these tutorials, I don't want to add that extra technique in. Let's just focus on making the hexagon or the half hexagon. So our next color that we're going to use is this off-white. I think it's called Putty. See it better if I put it against a blue background. See? So the difference with this one is you're not working in the round, and you're not even working back and forth. You're starting each color on this side and working to this side. So you're always working on the right side facing you. And then you're going to finish off and you're going to join your yarn back here again. So you're only ever working in this direction. So taking our off-white yarn and leaving that nice tail that we can work in later, we're going to join in the 3rd chain of the beginning chain 4, which would be the top of the double crochet that it represents. So 1, 2, and 3, we want to join our yarn right here, and we just do that by simply pulling up a loop. Again, this does not count as a chain, it's simply a join. So then we want to chain 1, and we're going to single crochet in that same space where we joined, that same chain stitch that we joined in. So go ahead in there and do a single crochet. Then we want to chain 1. And now we're going to go ahead and do a single crochet in the chain 1 space. So the chain 1 space is actually the 4th chain of that beginning chain 4. So that's our chain 1 space. Go right into that space there and work a single crochet. Now we're going to chain 2. So 1 and 2. And then we're going to single crochet in the next chain 1 space. Again, we're going to chain 2. And then we're going to work into the next chain 1 space. We're going to keep on doing this till we get to this last chain 1 space. So let's do chain 2, single crochet in the next chain 1 space, chain 2, single crochet in this last chain 1 space, and then we want to chain 1, and then we're going to single crochet in the last double crochet. So go into the top of that last double crochet, work a single crochet stitch, and you've completed your half circle. So we're going to fasten off by chaining 1 to lock it in place, and then cut our yarn about 4 inches and pull it through, and then cinch it up a little there. Now you can see we have 2 rows on our half circle. So next we're going to work with the beige. So row 3, I guess you can call it, would be with this golden beige color. And we're going back to where we started the last 2. And we're going to go into this first single crochet stitch that we started with. And we're going to join our yarn in there. So leaving a nice end, we're going to pull up our yarn. Then we're going to chain 1. And we're going to work a single crochet in that same stitch. And now we're going to work a single crochet into the chain 1 stitch that's in between there. Now know that we worked chain 2s around here, but there was a chain 1 at the end. So, and the beginning. So we're going to go into that chain 1 and work another single crochet. Then we're going to chain 1. Now we start with 2 single crochet in the next chain 2 space. So work 2 single crochet and then go ahead and chain 1. Then we work 2 single crochet into the next chain 2 space and then a chain 1. So we're going to keep doing that to this last chain 2 space. So we go 2 single crochet and a chain 1. 2 single crochet into the next chain 2 space. Only the chain 2 spaces are where we're working. And that was our last chain 2 space. So the next thing we want to do is chain 1. And then we want to work a single crochet into the chain 1 space, that last chain 1 space of the previous round. So go ahead in there and single crochet, and then work a single crochet in the last single crochet of the last round. So we want to work a single crochet, and then we're going to fasten off. We have completed our half circle. So I chain 1 because I find that locks it in place. Sometimes if you don't do that, there's a chance it'll slip out easier. That's just personal preference. So I always do that chain 1 at the end of a row like that. And I just cinch it up a little so it almost creates a little knot there. So now we're looking at the center of our half hexagon. So I'm going to bring the full hexagon out. So when you look at the full hexagon, you can see that this represents the half part of the circle. So we only want to make this portion of the hexagon. So we're working only this part. And it isn't as simple as just looking at this chart and saying, oh, I'll just do half of it. There is some finessing that has to happen along here. So for now we have the center, and now we're going to start into the petals. Round 4 is going to be the off-white, and we're starting our petals. So go back to where we started. We're always going back to this right-hand side of the entire piece, basically. So we're going to go into that first single crochet and pull up our loop of our off-white. And then we're going to chain 1 and single crochet in that same stitch that we just joined in. Just 1 single crochet. Now we want to work one of our shell flowers, which is 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. And we want to do that in the first chain 1 space, which is right here. So you're going to skip over this single crochet. So you want to go ahead and work 3 double crochet into the chain 1 space, the first chain 1 space that you can find there. So we're going to go ahead in and work 3 double crochet, and that'll be the first half of our petal. And then we want to chain 2, and then we want to work 3 more double crochet, and that'll be the second half of our petal. So there is our first petal on round 4. Now we want to chain 2, and we're going to skip over a bunch of stuff here. So we are only working into the chain spaces, and we want to miss a chain space and work into this next chain space. So you're missing the stitches as well, but you're also skipping over this chain space. So skip the stitches and the chain space, and you're working into the next chain space, which happens to be at the top of our circle. And we're going to go ahead and do another petal. So 3 double crochet for the first half. And then you want to chain 2, and then 3 more double crochet in that same chain space. So a lot gets worked into that space. And if you've done the full hexagon of the sweet pea, you'll recognize this petal. In fact, I use it a lot in a lot of my designs. So then we're going to chain 2, and now we're working on the last petal. So there's only going to be 3 petals because there's normally 6. So we only want 3. So we're going to skip over the next chain 1 space, and we're going to work into this last chain 1 space. So skip over those stitches as well. And we're going to do a double crochet into that chain space. And we're going to work 3 of those. Then we're going to chain 2 and 3 more double crochet into that same chain space. The nice thing is, as you get further along with this piece, it all starts to make more sense because you can actually see what you're doing. You can see where you're going with it. And now to finish off, make sure you skip over the second last stitch of the previous round, and then we're going to work into the last stitch. Just right after the petal, you want to go right into this last single crochet and work a single crochet. And then we're going to fasten off our yarn. So I do a chain 1, cut my yarn, pull it through, and now you can see we have finished row 4, used to rounds. So you can see we've finished row 4, and we are starting to get our half hexagon shape going here. So in the next round, we're going to use a deeper blue. Okay, we're back with our, I call this turquoise. It's a nice deep blue, but it's a turquoisey blue. Similar to the blue that we have, but I like it because it's got a little more brightness to it, a little more vibrant. So we're going to take that one and we're going to go right back to, again, our right-hand side, and we're going into that first stitch to join. So that first single crochet, we're right there. We're going to pull up a loop. So remember, that does not count as a chain stitch, but what we do need is a beginning chain 3. So we need 3, 1, 2, and 3. And then I want to do 3 more double crochet into that same stitch. So we're actually kind of doing a half shell, but a little extra just to buffer the edge. So I want to do 3 more double crochet into that same first single crochet. So it seems like a lot going on in there, but that's going to be the half of our first shell. Then I want to chain 1, and I'm going to work a single crochet in the top of the next petal. So in this chain 2 space, I'm going to work a single crochet and then a chain 1. So now we're moving on to the next petal, and that's going to be worked into this chain 2 space. So we're going to work 3 double crochet. So that's 1, 2, and 3, and then a chain 2, and then another 3 double crochet into this same chain 2 space. You can hear my cat in the background. He's lost me. So chain 1, and now we're going to work a single crochet in the top petal. This chain 2 right here, we're going to work a single crochet into that. And then we're going to chain 1. So we've worked the first half side. So it may feel a little awkward, like it's not lying flat. That's okay. As we work it around, it starts to settle down into the right shape. And then at the very end, I always block them to get my nice, perfect half hexagon. So now I want to go down the other side of the hexagon, half hexagon, so the other quarter. So we want to do 3 double crochet in this next chain 2 space. So 1, 2, and 3. And then we want to chain 2 and 3 more double crochet into the same chain 2 space. So lots going on again with this petal into this space. Now we want to do a chain 1, single crochet in the next chain 2 space, which is the top of the next petal, and then chain 1, and then we're going to work a half petal just as we did at the beginning. So there were 4 double crochet there. We're going to do the same here. And we're going to do it all into that last single crochet. So go ahead and work 4 double crochet into that last single crochet. So that I think is 3. And now I need 1 more. And that'll be 4. And that finishes row 5 of our half hexagon. So I'm just going to do a chain 1, and I'm going to cut my yarn. I'm not attached to it anymore. And I'll lay that out for you. And you can see it's really coming along. We have the first set of petals and the second set of petals, and now we're working on the border. So if I bring this one in again and just compare it, the next round's going to be this golden beige. See how that sits in the center like that? You can kind of see it there. So that is half of the hexagon, and then we're going to work our border of our golden beige, and then 1 more set of petals, and then our borders. Let's move on to round 6. So you always want to have this flat edge of the hexagon facing you. That's the orientation we are working on, and we're always starting on the right hand side. So let's go into this third chain of the beginning chain 3 of the previous round, and we're just going to pull up our gold, and we're going to chain 1 and work 2 single crochet into that same third chain that we joined in. So 2 single crochet. So there you go, there's 2 of them there. And then we're going to work a single crochet into each of the first 3 actual double crochets. So go into the top of each of the next 3 and work single crochets. So you're going to end up with 5 single crochets at this point. And then we want to chain 3. So 1, 2, and 3. We are going to skip over the chain stitches and the single crochet, both the chain stitches and the single crochet, and we're going to work single crochet into each of the next 3 double crochet. So go right to that next double crochet. We're going to work right into that with a single crochet, and then the next one, and then the third one. Now we're going to work a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet into the next chain 2 space. So go ahead and do single crochet, chain 2, and a single crochet, and that's our corner. Then we're going to do that same thing across the top edge. So I'm just going to work you through it. We're going to work a single crochet into the next 3 double crochets. So go ahead and work single crochet 3 times. Then you're going to do a chain 3. My messy yarn is creeping up on me. And then we're going to work a single crochet in the next 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, and 3. And then you're going to work a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet into the next chain 2 as your corner. So you worked a single crochet, chain 2, get ahead of myself here, and a single crochet. And now we're going to work the same thing down this edge, but a little bit different as we hit the end, just as we did up here. So now we want to work single crochet into each of the next 3 double crochets. Oops, and everything falls off the hook. Okay, single crochet into the next 3. So there's 3 single crochets. Then we do a chain 3. And then we're going to single crochet in each of the next 3 double crochets again. So 1, 2, and 3. And that's going to leave 1 double crochet at the end. And in that one, we're going to work 2 single crochets. And that's going to be how we finish. So 1 and 2. And then you're going to finish off. So I pull through a loop there, and then I cut it and pull my yarn through, and we have finished row 6. There you can see the border all the way around it. Now you can see here we have done right up to the golden edging. As you can see here, we've done this part. Now we're moving on to our last row of petals before we hit the 2 border edges there. So we're getting there, and you can see your shape really starting to develop here. So the next color we want is this medium blue, bit of a mess here. There. So we want to go back with the flat edge facing us. We're going back to the right side where we've started every one of the rows. We're going to join in the first single crochet stitch, and then you're going to pull up a loop. So now we want to chain 3. So 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to work 2 more double crochet into that same first single crochet. So go ahead and work 2 more double crochets into that first single crochet. And now we have what we consider 3 double crochets because that chain 3 counts as our first one. Then we want to chain 2. Now we're going to jump over all these stitches, and we're going to go into this chain 3 space. So skip all these stitches here, working into the next chain 3 space in the center of this part of our edge. We're going to work a double crochet, then we're going to chain 2, and we're going to work another double crochet. And then we're going to do a chain 2. So it's kind of like a V-stitch, but a little bit bigger because of the chain 2 in the center. So you can kind of see it better there. Kind of creates a V-stitch. So now you have done the chain 2, and you want to work a shell petal into this corner. So we're going to the chain 2 corner, and we're going to work a double crochet, and we're going to work 3 of them actually. So that's 2, and then that's 3, and then you're going to chain 2. And then you want to work 3 more into that same chain 2 space. So go ahead and work 3 more. And that will create your petal for your corner. Now you want to chain 2, and we're going to work our way back across the top here. Same way, chain 2. Skipping over all these stitches, you're going to work into this chain 3 space, and you're going to work a double crochet. Oops. Double crochet, chain 2, and a double crochet. And then you want to chain 2, and we're off to the next corner. We're going to skip over all of these single crochets and work into this chain 2 corner space. So now we want to work 3 double crochet into this chain 2 space. So see how we're skipping over all of these stitches here. So we've got 2 and 3. Then you want to chain 2, and then you want to do 3 more double crochet for the second half of your petal. So now you've turned another corner, And you have these little V stitches in between. So now we just have to work down our last edge here. We want to chain 2. You're going to skip over all these stitches, working into the chain 3 space. You're going to work a double crochet, chain 2, and a double crochet. And then you want to do a chain 2. And to finish it off, we want to work 3 double crochet in the very last single crochet of the previous row. So we want to go into that last single crochet working a double crochet, and we want 3 of them all together in that last stitch. And then we want to fasten off our yarn. So I pull up a loop, cut my yarn, and there you go. So because we only have half of a hexagon, you have all these strands hanging down. They're easy enough to darn in at the end, but if you like doing what I normally like to do, which is work them in as I go so that when I am working this, I don't have all these strands hanging out, they're all worked in. If you want to do that, I do have a tutorial on how to work your ends in a similar pattern, so you can check that out. I'll have that in the description below as well. So we are back to our off-white. So you have your flat edge facing you as usual. That's how I keep it that way so that I always know I'm starting over here. And we're going to go over and we're going to join our yarn in the 3rd chain of our beginning chain 3 of the previous round. So count up to the 3rd chain there. Insert your hook and pull up your yarn. And you're going to go ahead and chain 2 this time. And then you're going to work a half double crochet into that same space that you just did the chain 2 in. So go ahead and do a half double crochet. So the first chain 2 counts as a half double crochet, so you have 2 half double crochets in that chain 3 stitch. So now we're going to go ahead and we're working half double crochets all the way around. So we're going to work a half double crochet in the next stitch, and then a half double crochet in the next stitch. Now we're going to work a half double crochet, just one, into this next chain space right here, this chain 2 space. You want to work 1 half double crochet. Then you're going to work a half double crochet in the next stitch and in the next chain 2 space. So you're basically working a half double crochet in every stitch and 1 half double crochet in every chain space, no matter how many chains there are in it. So go ahead and half double crochet in the next stitch and a half double crochet in the next chain 2 space. And then we're going to work a half double crochet in each of the next 3 stitches from the previous round. So we have 1, 2, and 3. And now we've reached our corner chain 2 space, and in that one we're going to work a corner half double crochet. So we're going to do half double crochet, chain 2, and a half double crochet, and that works our corner. Now we're going to go ahead and work half double crochet in every stitch and 1 half double crochet in every chain space to the next corner. And there you're going to work another half double crochet, chain 2, half double crochet, and then you're going to continue on down to the last stitch, at which point you're going to work 2 half double crochet in that last stitch. So I'm going to get you to go ahead and work all that because it's just half double crochets and I don't want to bore you just by working half double crochets for the next couple minutes. You go ahead and work all of that and I'll meet you back here and we'll finish off the row. So here we are at the end of this round. I've worked half double crochets all the way around, only 1 in each of the chain spaces, but 1 in every single stitch. And now I'm at the last stitch and I want to work 2 half double crochets into that last stitch. And then I pull up 1 chain and fasten off. Pull the yarn through and we'll take a look here at what we have. So there you go. We're almost done. We only have 1 round left. So let's look again at our completed hexagon. So you can see here, I only have this blue round left. Let's place this one over top. And you can see there that it nicely cuts right across the center. of our hexagon. So that'll work really nicely when you're working a design. So row number 9, again, we're starting over here on the right hand side. We're going to join our yarn in the second chain of the beginning chain 2, which would represent the top of a half double crochet. So you pull up a loop, that's joining our yarn. Then we go ahead and chain 1, and then we're going to single crochet in that same chain 2 space that we just joined in. Now our edging is going to be single crochet chain 2 edging all the way around. If you have done my other squares, you'll notice this is my familiar way of edging almost all my squares. I like the way it looks, and I also love the fact that it makes them all easy to join to each other, so I can mix and match my squares or my hexagons or whatever shape I'm working on. So we have our single crochet to start. We want to chain 2, and we're going to go right into the next half double crochet. So let's zoom in and see where that sits. So we did our chain 2 here, and the next half double crochet, and again, remember these half double crochets, the tops lie a little more to the right of the post than in the other stitches. So see, this post here belongs to this stitch. So this post belongs to this stitch, is just wedged into the chain. It almost looks like, it's hard to find. That's the one that you want to work into, right in there. So hopefully that focuses nicely for you so you can see it. And I'm just working a regular single crochet. Right there, that's the stitch that you want. So work a single crochet, and it's right next to the chain 2. And the post for it is right here. So now we want to chain 2. And then we want to do a single crochet. We want to skip over one of the half double crochets. And then we want to single crochet into the next one. So the one we're going to skip over obviously now is this one. And we want to work into this one right here. So work a single crochet, and you have a skipped half double crochet in the middle. So we're going to go ahead and do that all the way across. So chain 2, and then you're going to skip over a half double crochet and work into the next one. And we'll go right up until we reach this corner up here. So now here we are, we've reached the corner. I did my single crochet, then a chain 2. We're going to miss or skip. Skip is a better word. Skip means you did it intentionally. So you're skipping over the next half double crochet, and what the next space is the chain 2 space. This right here is part of the chain 2. So remember, your stitch always in half double crochet lies to the right of the post. So you're going to skip this stitch and go right into the corner, and you're going to work a single crochet, chain 2, and a single crochet into that same chain 2 space to create your corner. So again, we're going to work across this edge doing the same thing, hit the corner, work a single crochet, chain 2 single crochet in the corner, and then work your way down to this end. So I'm going to get you started here, and then I'm going to leave you be to finish this, and I'll meet you back here. So remember again, the single crochet, you're going to skip this stitch right here. It looks like it's part of the chain 2, but it isn't. It is the stitch that lies to the right of the post. That's the one you're missing. And this is the one you're going into. So single crochet into that one. And then chain 2, skip the next one, and work into the next one. So keep on going like that. Turn your corner with your single crochet, chain 2, single crochet, work down this edge, and I'll meet you back here at the end. So here we are at the end of the row, and I have one half double crochet left. So I've worked my single crochet, chain 2, and we're not skipping one at the end. We're going right into the last half double crochet as a single crochet, and that's how we're going to finish. We're going to chain 1 to finish off, cut our yarn, and pull it through. And there you go. You have finished your half hexagon. So one thing I often say to people when this gets confusing for them with these half double crochets, some people like to do it a little different than I do. That if it makes sense to them, then that's fine. The only thing I say is just be consistent. If you're going to do it a different way, then always do it that way and it won't show. The key with crochet is if you're consistent, then everything always looks symmetrical and it doesn't matter because of the wonderful texture in crochet. It doesn't matter when you make mistakes. And if you're consistently making the same mistake, or if you just do it a different way than I do, then that's okay because then it looks normal. It looks good. So just follow your gut, do it the way you want to do it. If you find a different way that works better for you, go for it and just do it consistently and it'll look great. And that completes the Sweet Pea half hexagon. I have made a throw pattern using this piece along with the full Sweet Pea hexagon. I'll leave the information on that in the description below. If you've enjoyed this tutorial, please give it a thumbs up and remember to subscribe to my channel so you're sure to catch all my tutorials as they come out. Thanks for joining me today. I'll see you in the next tutorial.